Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I didn't even check my background there. Make sure there's nothing crazy out there. Hey, if you're just tuning in to Dad with a Phone, and I know I'm getting a lot of new follows and likes because of the breaking news in the Chad Daybell case today. We posted some stuff first. We were getting some information as quickly to you as possible. And all of a sudden, boom, boom, Dad with the Phone on Facebook started getting a million hits on our YouTube group, or on our Facebook YouTube group, and our Facebook YouTube group. Our Facebook group, Dad with the Phone. So if you haven't joined over there, we don't just talk about all kinds of cases. They just go wild. They're just wild in that group. So be careful. Today is almost like everybody takes a deep breath, right? They have made at least what looks to be like another arrest in the Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow, Ty and JJ, this whole long list of other people who have died in this weird circle, which is kind of tied around this dude that writes doomsday cultish like books. And I would just like to point out to you that Chad Daybell has predicted the end of the world to be July 22nd, 2020. He may have been just a little bit off today because his world has drastically changed from yesterday's world. The world he woke up into today was drastically different than the one he went to bed in last night. So this morning at the wee hours, they knocked on Chad Daybell's door, the sheriff's department, the police department, and none other than the three-lettered agency, the FBI, and had a search warrant for his property. Now, this is not the first time they have been on Chad Daybell's property. This is not the first time they're getting around to searching Chad's property. I need to make this clear because I've seen some comments on Facebook and online like, well, thank goodness finally law enforcement's getting around to searching Chad's property. They have searched his property. They have combed through it before and have found zero, zilch, nothing that would bring us to the same place we are today. Now, I have a few guesses on why and how they got to his property today, to specific areas, to know exactly where to target and excavate. But I'll let you make those assumptions yourself. There is a lady who's in jail, who has been in jail, has said zero except let me out of jail for less amount of money. She even got them to reduce her bail a little bit, and she still couldn't meet bail. But she is facing some major charges that could escalate into even more major charges if she doesn't have answers come court date. And her court dates are coming. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, FBI, sheriff, cops, they go to Chad's place, and within hours, not days, not 24 hours, not 12 hours, not 10 hours, a couple of hours, within maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm telling you on Dad with the Phone on Facebook, they have found human remains. Within a few minutes later, news across every station saying it, and then within an hour, the cops come out and say, we have found human remains. This ain't like just any other case. This case has stayed pretty stagnant. People have understood what's going on. There's all this shadiness behind them. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, Chad Daybell's house, we have human remains. People always want to know when the break in the case is going to happen. I think the break in the case happened right in front of us, and we were getting results and information within hours. Now, law enforcement came out and did a press conference. We had that press conference on Dad with the Phone today live. If you missed it, you can go back and watch it. It's a short press conference, and I'm going to give you the quick gist of the press conference. We need to tell you this because you're already finding out on Facebook. I've been screaming this for 2.5, 3 years, that Facebook, social media moves faster than even law enforcement, right? Everybody's like, law enforcement's going to tell us. Nobody. Faster than law enforcement. Human remains have been found. Chad Daybell's taken into custody. Law enforcement basically comes out in their press conference and is like, listen, we need to tell you something because we're reading on Facebook and we just need to fill you in. This kind of isn't a rumor. We have found human remains at Chad Daybell's house. Now, you notice how there has been very little talk, even in the media, other than, well, it used to be about Lori. Well, this case was all about Lori. She's facing charges of endangerment. She hasn't been charged with anything but endangerment. But all of a sudden, they find human remains at Chad's house. Chad is taken into custody. Chad, at the very least, is going to be charged with tampering with a deceased corpse. Tampering. He will be charged with at least tampering. He'll probably be charged with a lot more than that. The cops always want to tell you when they find. They want to tell you before social media tells you. This is why the cops have come out. And I need to say this because there are other cases where people are like, the cops have found the remains of, or the cops have recovered the remains of. Listen, when the cops recover the remains, they are going to tell you as quick as they can because they know nobody can keep a secret. Nobody can keep that secret. So they want to be the ones to say it. So they're going to, today, they weren't the ones to say it. They came out a little bit late. And they even blame social media. They're like, damn, social media is telling y'all we needed to come out and tell you. That amazes me. The fact that the case is broke, listen, those remains could really be anything. But we have to believe we know the cops say it. They tell us, yes, we went there on a tip around the Lori Vallow missing kids. Yes, we went there on a tip about the missing kids. Now, unless Lori Vallow knows that Chad Daybell has killed and murdered in the past and buried bodies out there, unless she knows that and she's doing this little skippity-doo-dah to get him in trouble, but not really get him in trouble for the missing kids. Maybe it's to get him in trouble for another case or to get him questioned. Maybe there's an explanation around those human remains, and this is more of a game. This could very well, but she's playing this game with the cops now because the cops are using resources, and they are going directly to pinpoint these places. They said human remains. That doesn't mean it's more than one person. It could be one person, 2 people, 3 people. It could be multiple people. But somebody knew that there were human remains on Chad Daybell's property. And the only people that would benefit, to my knowledge right now, maybe there are other benefactors, but the only people that would benefit from knowing that secret, keeping that secret, and then all of a sudden sharing that secret is Lori Vallow. That's the only person who benefits from the cops finding out that there are human remains on Chad Daybell's property. So when I assume that Lori Vallow is in jail talking, it's because this is the logical explanation to come to when you're talking about a property where the cops have searched before. See, look, this ain't the first time they've run dogs on that property. They ran dogs on that property today, but they've run dogs on that property before. What are y'all talking about? 7 a.m., 11:30, someone says. So that means what? We found out they were out there at 7 a.m. and we found out 11:30? Shit, forget about it. That's what we call a break in the case. That's what they call a break in the case. The only logical answer to that break in the case is a songbird. Pinpoint accuracy, straight to the point. Found some human remains. What do y'all think? What do you think? What do you think? You think she's singing? You think this is good old-fashioned hunt-to-do police work? You think the police just all of a sudden were like, had an epiphany like some puzzle they put together in the department? No. This was straight first-hand knowledge of where the remains are. The only person who benefits from that information at this moment, in this time in history, is Lori Vallow locked in jail. I love it when they start turning on each other. Boy, howdy. Here's the deal. Will Chad Daybell go down without a fight? Or has Chad Daybell already got his ducks in a row for his answers, his defense, how he's going to spin the story? This is a man who has had lawyers. This is a man who was kind of shaded out of getting arrested because he wasn't the legal guardian of the kids. He was married to Lori Vallow. Those kids, for intensive purposes, were being raised as Chad Daybell as their stepfather, but because he wasn't legal guardian, he didn't have to face the charges of them going disappearing. But because she hasn't been bailed out of jail, Chad, she's been calling. She's been trying to get you to come bail her out. You better put that house up on the mortgage. You better take a second out. You do whatever you can to get her out because Songbird, little Blondie's getting worked over. That lipstick's running dry. That nail polish ain't so fresh. She wants out. The only way she saw out was point the finger, Chad. Smoking gun. Smoking gun. I got like a craziness going on right here across the street. Who knows? They watch my live because they're addicted to dad with a phone. It's the bottom line. They're crack fiends. Dude, you should see. I go dark. I get a lot of nice messages. Even my haters want to text me. They're like, you're not on Facebook anymore. They get you? I love it. Even the haters. Shout out to the hater. Hey, the hater, the stalker. God, I don't know if I should call the cops on this lady or if I should have her on my podcast. I don't know which one to do. The lady who runs the shut down dad with the phone page wrote me a long letter. She thought I was going to read that letter. I don't read that well, so I just posted it online. I read the first and the ending, and I was like, oh, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's coming after me now? I don't know what Oklahoma's got on me, but according to this lady, Oklahoma's coming after me. And all the rest of this stuff, man, I hope she doesn't call Child Protective Services. And if she does call Child Protective Services, I hope Child Protective Services doesn't waste a dime on trying to investigate me. You just walk over to my house. I'm going to let you talk to my neighbors, my friends. I'm going to let you talk to all the friends of my children. I'll let you talk to Ella. You want to come talk to Ella? Come talk to Ella. She'll tell you how many times dad takes her fishing, and you can decide if that's child endangerment. It's crazy when people threaten your kids like that, because you guys know how crazy these psychos online are, and somebody should investigate that psycho online. But yeah, when they threaten my kids, it pisses me off a little bit, only because I know those are real sick individuals. And these people sometimes who write me are real sick individuals. And so call Commander Holsworth at the Woodland Park Police Department. He's known me for 7, 8, 10 years. He's there. You know, you could call that pedophile at the Woodland Park Police Department. She won't come near me, though, because she'll have a restraining order against her in a quick minute. And so, yeah, call the cops. They know where I live. Golly, these people. Meanwhile, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow, their kids disappear, and this lady she's going to call Child Protective Services on me. On me. You should call them on Chad Daybell. Somebody should have called them on Lori Vallow. Somebody should have called them on Tisha Stout. Somebody should have called them on freaking a lot of folks over and over. So anyway, the haters are just, sometimes we got to deal with the haters. Sometimes y'all got to deal. Sometimes y'all deal with the haters better than I do. So that's why we let y'all in on the little hater messages, because I really didn't read your message. I did read portions of it, like part of it, just so I was like, oh, I got the gist of this. Let's see what the world says. So there you go, world. Hater messages. I love them. I did block her, though, for sure. Block that shit right out. Whoa. Yes, it's the Sonia chick. You can see the letter on dad with the phone. That's awful. Somebody sent me a text today. Let me see. I get a bunch of text messages. I don't read them all. No text from you. You must have texted the wrong number. No text from you. You must have texted the wrong number. I'm just saying. Might have got the... Check this out. Tisha Stout is going to the crazy house. I got to tell you, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that her lawyers could convince anyone or could talk. She's going to the crazy house. She's going to it will probably come out to Tisha Stout will spend her days getting drugged in the crazy ward, and she may never face justice for what she did to Gannon outside of living in the crazy house. It's the truth. Yeah, they're saying she's crazy, which again, I'm not surprised, right? From the information we've gotten throughout this case, this hasn't been a fun. I mean, none of these cases are normal, right? You don't beat a woman to death with a baseball bat if you're normal. You don't kill a child, somehow stuff them in a suitcase, travel them across the country, and throw them off a bridge. You're not normal. You're not normal. Of course you're crazy. Now, what set you crazy and what marks someone as a crazy person could be a lot of things. Could be a lot of things. I don't know. When it comes to hurting children, I still like close my eyes during those points. If I see something on TV that, like, if I see something where a kid gets hit on TV, I still like cringe and close my eyes. That's innocent stuff. You hurt children, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know the redemptive power. I hope that your heart isn't hardened if you hurt children, because I don't know how good the redemptive power is. I don't know if it's good enough to soften the heart of someone who's hurt children. And so, like, the crazy house is probably the smartest plan for her. Try to get like at least a cushy bed, under 24-hour cell lockdown. You're gonna be 23-hour lockdown. The crazy house ain't no walk in the park, people. The crazy house, there's two types of people in the crazy house: the real crazies and the people who are trying to use the crazy house to think that they're getting in a soft prison sentence. Trust me. There are those that slip their way into the crazy house and they're not quote unquote real crazy, but they just slid themselves into the crazy house with the real crazies. And, the old saying goes, you are the company you keep. And so you may not be crazy when you go in, but if you ever come out, you'll be fried in the head. So, T-Bag, if you think that's going to work out for you, good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. Meanwhile, KK, boom, denied. She can't get out. She can't get into the halfway house just yet. She's not crazy. She's evil. True to be. She could be both. Crazy, kind of evil. Either way, I don't know if I don't know how that's going to roll. All right. Chad Daybell arrested today. Taken into custody, charges pending, quote unquote. They didn't dig up your backyard, find human remains to not charge you with something. I'm assuming they're getting identification on those human remains so that they can specifically charge Chad, Lori Daybell with the murder of someone. Now, we know where the other people are that they've murdered. Chad Daybell's wife, Lori Vallow's husband, Lori Vallow's brother, threatened that other dude, the ex of somebody, 2 kids missing, Lori Vallow's other husband. Who knows who else? So whoever's human remains they are, most likely, just a guess, probably the ones we don't know where they are. And that's all we've been asking is, where are the kids? Where are the kids? Where are the kids? At this point, the only one that benefits from the location of the kids is Lori Vallow. We'll see what happens. Hey, thanks for watching Dad with a Phone. I'm pretty sure charges happen tomorrow. Press conference tomorrow. We might be in and out of that. There's a slim chance I could be fishing. So we'll see what happens. Talk to you guys later. I'm out. See, if I just took a minute and read chat, maybe we'll find something. They say Chad Daybell has been booked on charges. This is going to be good. We're about to find out. Chad Daybell booked into jail. Let's see. Charges to be released soon. Update. Chad Daybell has been booked into jail to the Fremont County Jail. Charges against Daybell will be released soon. That's the only thing I have. I don't have any new charges. We knew he was taken into custody, but he's booked into jail. Charges coming. It's going to be good. I would think the charges would be, they don't have to rush though. Here we go. Nothing. Oh, there we go. He was booked into the Fremont County Jail on charges of destruction or concealment of evidence at 5:21 p.m. So right now, 4 minutes ago or an hour ago, that's Idaho, so that's different. So that's like literally, because I'm 6:26. I don't know if Idaho's Mountain Time. Is Idaho Mountain Time? So it could have been an hour ago. He was booked into charges on concealment of evidence, which is a real like tampering with evidence, right? It's like, hey, at least we can get him on the tampering with evidence. We can prove that, right? And then all these other charges will come forth. So there you go. You missed everything, but we really just got to the point. Actually, the first 30 minutes of this live is just BS. You don't even have to watch it. Don't even rewatch. If you're just joining, breaking news right now, right here on Dad with a Phone, Chad Daybell has been charged with the concealment of evidence. That's it. The concealment of evidence, that's a charge. It's like tampering with evidence. Destruction or concealment of evidence. That's what they got Chad Daybell on. Now, if you think that's all they got Chad Daybell on, come on. Here's how they got him on that. This is brilliant, too. This is how they got the arrest warrant. Lori Vallow Daybell, sitting in jail right now, rotten. How can I get out of jail? How can I get out of jail? How can I get out of jail? All right, listen. If I tell you where there's some evidence, you got to let me out if you find some evidence. Well, okay. Evidence to what? Evidence to my missing children. Okay. Now listen. All I know is that Chad buried some evidence on his property in Idaho. And I know this is kind of the general area. Like this is where the general area is. You're going to find that evidence. Boom. They get a warrant issued for concealment or destruction of evidence. Based on Lori Vallow's snitching, they get this. This is just hypothetical, by the way. If you're just joining, I'm making this shit up as I go. Please don't take this as a news source. Leave now if you think I'm the East Idaho News, because I'm making this up. Lori Vallow snitches and says, listen, Chad's got evidence of my children. If you find evidence of my children, you've got to give me a reduction in bond because I'm trying to help you guys find my children. I know Chad's got my children. He's got them. He's been hiding them. And he buried some evidence. And there's some evidence buried out there. So they get a warrant because they, on her testimony for the concealment or destruction of evidence, boom, search the property, boom, find human remains, boom, arrest him on those charges because those are true charges. If you guys think this is over, this DA is shuffling his charges card right now. He's got a damn handful of charges. He's shuffling and he's like, wait until tomorrow, Chad. We got a poker hand for you, buddy. What are we going to do with Lori? She's our golden snitch. She's our KK. She's our blonde bombshell. She's our white girl. She was just domestic violence. Domestic violence on Lori Vallow. Chad Daybell, domestic violence. Oh, she's a domestic. She's a domestic victim. Yeah, that plays so well with the jury. Chad Daybell, buddy. God, she about to ride you right out of jail, bro. She gonna ride you right out of jail. God, y'all gonna hate me when I'm right. Lori Vallow is gonna probably still have to face charges. I'm not saying she's gonna get out of jail. She ain't getting out of jail that easy. They got her in jail. Once they get you in jail, it's way harder. KK, that's the difference. People don't realize this. Crystal Lee Kinney, she got the deal of the lifetime because they didn't have her in jail. Once they get you in jail, very few ever get out of jail. Now, you might Damn. I get such good text messages sometimes from people. I have to stop and read them. What was I saying? Lori Vallow. Lori Vallow's still going to face charges. She's in jail. There's a difference. Once they get you, they're not going to let you go. Right? They had her on the child endangerment. She could have come to them with this information a long time ago, and she might have been sitting on it with her lawyers. She may have told her lawyers something like, look, Chad knows what's going on. He's buried evidence in the backyard. And then her lawyers could have said, well, we can use that. Let's just keep that in our bucket. All right? Don't tell me any more of that. Just keep that in the bucket. See, oftentimes lawyers will want to get enough information from you to know that they have a bucket to draw from, but they don't necessarily want to know what that information is until it becomes prudent to them doing their jobs. And the reason I tell you this is because I just understand how the lawyers work. Plausible deniability, right? So they're having conversations, and we know that her and her lawyers have had conversations that have been recorded, on the phone, right? And we know that the lawyer believed that information could be prudent to his client's innocent or guilt. What if she were to say to him on the phone, listen, Chad did this and buried evidence, and I know where it's at. All of a sudden, that's supposed to be a privileged conversation between lawyers, but the cops now know she has said that. And now the cops tell the DA, and the DA says, listen, we know she knows something. If she tells us something, hey, we'll give you something, right? So behind the scenes, Lori could have been working out a deal. Meanwhile, they're like, if we can point it at the white cult leader, bro, We need to take us a white cult leader down in this day and age, right? So if we can point this at the white cult leader, you tell her she can be our blonde witness. You think I'm playing? You don't think the DA would rather take down the white cult leader than the blonde domestic girl, right? Come on. You know I'm telling you the truth. Think about all those people that left early. They missing out. I said that earlier, Melody. I said he had his chance to get her out when he didn't put that house up for triple mortgage or whatever he had to do to get that money. He missed out. And so, you know, he should have got her out of jail. She knew too much, obviously. Now the question is how'd she spin it? And was it volunteered or was it obtained through those recordings? We know that she had recordings with her lawyers. We know that the lawyers felt that those recordings could be prudent to the information in this case and could point to something. If law enforcement, let's just say she said that. Let's just say, listen, I know Chad's got information on some evidence. If she just said that, right? She don't even have to say where it's at. If she just said, hey, I know Chad's got, evidence that he's taken care of, right? If she said that to the lawyer said, that's good, keep that. The cops, they can't really use this information because the information was kind of obtained illegally. But on the flip side, it's pretty prudent information. So if they give it to the DA and the DA spins it, absolutely the DA will use that against, Mr. White cult leader. I'm not saying he's innocent, by the way. When I'm saying this is the case of psychopath against psychopath. Now, this is when it's going to get pretty. It's actually going to turn out who's got the best lawyers is going to really be the question. Who's got the better lawyers? Chad Daybell or Lori Vallow? Because what I think's about to happen is they got them both. The problem is they got human remains. They may not need either of their testimonies against either of them, except that each one of their testimonies could bring reasonable doubt in each other's case, right? This is a case where they got both of them in jail. The first songbird to sing is going to get the better deal. I promise you. It might not be the best deal. They may still do life in prison. They may still do 15, 20, 30, 40 years in prison. Right now, Lori Vallow has only been in charge with child endangerment. She could do like 6, 12 years. If she just took the charges and pled guilty to that, and they were like, we're done with you. We're going to get the cult leader, the white cult leader for the murder, but you got to testify. Could be. Tonight at 7:30 Mountain Standard Time, that's in 1 hour. I think we got a press conference coming forward. Charges coming out tonight, Chad Daybell. The end of the world as you know it, Chad Daybell. We're about to find out in just about an hour. Y'all give me an hour break. We'll come back with that press conference. How about that? I'll make that deal with you. Give me a little bit of time. I'll get some things prepared here. We'll come back with that press conference tonight. Update, new press conference, 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. If my sources are correct, and damn, they normally are. I don't even know who these people are. I don't even know. All I know is when that number texts me, they normally text me the right information. Hey, we're going to, should I tell you about a secret guest? Y'all know who likes to talk to Dad with a phone, right? We might have some boots on the ground in Idaho on the podcast tomorrow. Y'all keep y'all's ears out. But tonight we'll be back with the press conference. God, I love the press. Freedom of the press.